Just fucking up.
Hey, we're live.
Yeah, we is.
What?
I'm
Papa Pete's here, you see. Watch, I'm gonna make Pete go really small. Watch.
If I had known, I would have wore the same shirt.
Hey, what shirt was it? Oh, your Atari one.
Yeah. For a second, I thought, hey, that's the same shirt. No, because I had picked up the Atari one upstairs earlier when I got home from work and almost put it on, and that would have been funny. Although my hair's shorter.
my hair is shorter.
Blake
Hi,
Snow is
welcome
here.
to Go Game Go. What's different about Pete?
Blake Snow's gonna be here for a little bit. He's going to bed. Pierre, welcome. Kurt Bradshaw, what's going on?
I think one night we should just all be in our respective beds and do the show.
Well, that was my hum and haw when Jeff sent me the note. Say, hey, if you guys want to come on tonight, come on. And I thought, am I going to want to go up and lay down and like watch the end of it? No, I could make it till 10:30 anyway.
Salvatore.
Yeah, push through, bro.
Hello, Kurt Bradshaw, Pierre Garreau, Salvatore.
Or as they call me at my job, brah. That one drives me nuts.
Brah.
I did literally look at one of my students and say, brah is a piece of apparel, not a person.
It's short for brassiere.
Give me
Unless
a
you're
break.
in Louisiana, then it's I assume it means brother, because down there all the guys call everyone brah. Brah.
That drives me nuts.
Well,
I am stuck.
You're not in Louisiana, and I'm certainly not in Louisiana. Although in a way, I'm almost closer to Louisiana than you are, because I come from the land where the people left and went down and settled Louisiana.
That's true.
I come from the land down under. No, I don't.
What's Awakening's here?
Okay, so I got 38,000.
Pete, have you ever been to Louisiana?
I have not. No.
38,000 is pretty good. Stuart's playing Yars Recharged.
Oh, cool.
Yes, my best score
No,
so far is 47,000.
I was wrong. I thought it was in the 70s. I'm only high 60s, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was in the 70s, but I checked the other day. I was like, what?
Who's been dicking around with my score? Somebody's out there hacking this thing.
Go in the winter. Okay, Louisiana. Do you want to play a great game? Do you guys ever play Gabriel? Was it Gabriel Knight, The Beast Within? Or Gabriel Knight? It was a sort of a point and click Sierra classic from back in the 90s. Oh, great game! Great game. Hey, Big Block.
Hey, brah.
Jeff Pete and brah.
So I just hate it. That is a pet peeve. What's a Pete peeve?
People who dislike movies without watching them.
Oh, what pricks!
Here.
You are talking about a breed alone, right there.
What's that?
You're talking about a breed alone, right there. I don't even want to talk to those kind of people.
I know.
Jackasses.
No, I'm pretty laid back. I am pretty laid back.
You know what my pet peeve is? People who expect me to watch movies that aren't worth watching, that are over 2 hours long.
I swear, there's so many movies I go to watch, and I look at the time first. And if it says like 200 minutes, I'm like, I can't do this. 200 minutes. I'm like, even over 120, I'm like, oh, God.
It's a gamble. It's like,
Pierre, that's a different Luke. Luke's Awakening and Luke Boudreaux from the Intellivision Collector are not the same Luke. That is literally Luke, Luke, English Luke. And Luke from the Intellivision Collector is LUC because it's la version francophone de Luke.
Oh,
L-U-C.
I expect your wife to come kissing up your arm in any minute now.
Yeah,
like in the Addams Family.
It's
kind of me.
I have problems with that. I have to. I have to shut the door.
Which Katamiya is that? Is in what language? What is
Katamiya?
that? Yeah,
I don't know.
Isn't that what he used to say to her?
Something like that.
Katamiya.
Yeah. Oh, my Katamiya. Then he starts smooching up her arm.
Hey, before the show, I went to the grocery store.
What?
And there was a guy getting out of his car as I was getting out, and I turned to walk towards the store, and I heard him say something to me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. What's this guy? And
here we go.
And he goes, oh, I really like your shirt.
Oh,
said, oh, thank you. And then he started talking about NHL 94 and how they update the rosters. And there's like a big tournament where people still are playing the game.
Yeah.
I like that's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Bye.
Sorry. Godzilla.
I have seen it. This movie looks fantastic. I can't wait.
Really? Brand new Godzilla movie? Is it American made or Japanese?
No, that's why I'm looking forward to it.
What, did he lose a ball or something? What's the -1?
I think it's some reference to. It's basically the origin story. It's kind of like a.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't know if it's even a. I guess a reboot. I don't know, but it sounds like
prequel.
It takes place. It sounds like it takes place in the 40s, not the 50s, like the original one.
Yeah, oh, wow. So it's like a prequel thing.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Although,
how do you base?
I don't know how you have a prequel when they've already seen Godzilla.
Maybe it's when
Godzilla 45.
Maybe it's like when Godzilla was a paper boy or something. You remember when Godzilla worked in that soda fountain shop? Oh yeah, that was way back in the 40s.
Oh, here we go. Someone complimented CC Mental's ice hockey t-shirt at the gym. Nice.
I was hoping you get a couple sales as we did that great video the other day. We were talking about this earlier about the picture that Jeff had put up there a second ago, and it said my hair's shorter now. Totally lost track. Oh, in that same video, I wore the ice hockey shirt, and Jeff did the clip, and he wore his ice hockey shirt. So I had to make sure that I put a link so everybody could buy ice hockey shirts in the description.
Which was actually by accident because when I showed up to talk to you about it, we were already wearing the same shirt.
So Pete, I'm so glad you're here. First of all, because I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Secondly, it's always fun to go pew 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 back and forth about you and me with movies. That's always funny. So that's all. This is how the world should work. We should just be able to go pew 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 and then pew 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 and then and then you move on. Drink a beer and you move on, or a lemonade, whatever you like. But I have some questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, I was just playing the Yars Recharged. Have you played that much?
I have not played it, not at all. I've watched Jeff play it. It's the only I've seen of it. Now I looked at it the other day. Is it still on sale or is it back up to regular price now?
I think it was back up.
Was it?
But I'm not sure.
I should get it sometime because I really do like Yars Revenge. And I don't think that it was going to be like Canadian $90 for the entire recharge package. And I don't think I get enough out of them to play on it because I play so much. To be quite honest, the games that I play for my videos is about as much gameplay as I have the opportunity to play because it uses up all my time.
Right.
But if the game's good enough, I found stupid things like Retro Bowl. I play that all the time because I can pick it up and play it in 2 minutes. And Yards Recharge, you can pick it up, and if you want to play a game, you can play a game in 5 or 10 minutes, right?
Yep, Rocket League. That's my Rocket League. I've talked about it a million times. Yeah,
I've been playing Rocket League a little tough because it takes, you get up, you got to get into it, you got to get it going, you probably got to update it, then you got to find a group, and
you're
minutes before I'm playing game one.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I was working on the computer last night, and there was an update, and it took 15 minutes. I bet to update.
Yeah,
Rocket League. I was like, real, and I play it every day. So we just had an update not long ago.
Right.
And so we just had another one yesterday. I'm like,
those Rocket League updates take longer than any game I've ever done on the Switch.
Yeah, they're the ones you look at your screen and you're like, it's got to be about done. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, I can go poop 4 times and it still would be going.
Speaking about updates, remember we've been talking about doing our next movie night we're going to do is Star Trek. And I was saying how I'd watched all the Star Trek movies right up through again. And on Netflix? No, Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Didn't have Nemesis, and then the original, the motion picture disappeared too, because I had watched it on there and then it was gone, but the other 8 were there. And there's some other things missing, but on September 5th, now 100% of the Star Trek universe is on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
So
okay.
they moved over the original series, the animated the Next Generation is there, all the other series afterwards, and Nemesis is now there, so I gotta watch it sometime. But I've been into the original series.
So now
we've been watching a lot of those episodes in season 1, and man, we saw 2 classics. There was the one where Kirk is fighting the lizard.
Oh yeah, that's
Gorn,
shore leave, right?
It's just so funny watching that because my son mentioned, he goes, I bet they made him slow just because he is slow in that suit, the lizard suit.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. And we watched the one where I really liked the idea where they went back in time to the 1960s on Earth. Basically, it was the current time when the show was actually being aired. And Kirk had this great fight scene with like 3 guys in this room. It was so funny. Oh, I love his moves. He does this move a lot.
Yes.
And he does the karate chop. I don't know why, but that karate chop seems to knock everyone out.
Takes them right out. Just destroys them.
Oh man.
Look, I watched the motion picture when I started this. I watched it. I've watched it several times. I remember when it came out. I kind of liked. I liked it. I got through it because it was Star Trek.
Right.
But
right.
I've watched it. I sincerely have watched it probably 6 times in my life. When you think about all the different times over the years, over 30 years, well, 40 years now almost. And but Wrath of Khan, I mean, that's just head and shoulders. 2, 3, 4. I could watch those forever. 5. When I watched 5 this time, it was like, okay, it's better than I remember it. I didn't watch it that closely. 6, people usually, that's the lowest rated. I liked it. It's okay.
I liked it. It just is. It's just kind of cheesy.
Yeah. And 7, 8, 9, I liked all those. 9 was brutal for the first half, but I liked the end of it.
I've liked every one I've seen so far.
Yeah, I would say that I have too.
I've seen the original, and then I've watched the first 2 Next Generation. Although I think I've seen the other 2, the next 2 already, but
yeah,
I'm still gonna watch it again.
Insurrection and then Nemesis. And Nemesis is one that was missing off of when I was in the process. It wasn't there, so I have all the DVDs and stuff. But it's weird, It's like now to get a DVD out and get the player going, it's more of a pain than anything. So but we're all there now.
I never find it. I get what you're saying as far as the handling factor and the lift factor and all having to do all the mechanics. But I'll tell you what, though, there is nothing like having my game system. You just slide it right in there, and then there's no, it takes 20 seconds, 30 seconds, to get it rocking on my PS4, whereas it can take up to a minute and a half. First world problems, right? I mean,
really. Yeah. Think about back in the day, we'd walk in a snowstorm down to the rental place to look at the 15 movies on the wall, or pick one out to walk back and watch it.
Right.
And then get the tracking right on because that's been rented 40 times and played 40, 50, 100 times. And it's all fuzzy, and it's like, wow. And now it's just like spoiled.
And not to mention, when you do the streaming, sometimes it locks up and you get the wheel, and then and I'm like, screw all that. I own it.
Hey, Retro Bro.
What's up? Yeah, it's the only one I have on Blu-ray. Oh,
yeah. I've got them all. I collected them all on DVD. I dug it out here. Remember a couple weeks? Was I on the show?
Yeah. I can't remember if you were live or if it was before or after.
Yeah, okay. I got like all the collector's editions because I get into it back in the 90s, and they were the 2 DVD collector's editions.
Yeah,
and I got all those. I'm not going to replace any of them and I got the DVDs for a lot of the new ones, or a couple, 2 of the 3, maybe the new ones.
Well, and I bought that one that I think is Nemesis and Insurrection. I bought those on DVD at the dollar store.
Oh, there you go.
Both on separate discs. Coco.
I don't know why, but I like watching stuff on like live TV or streaming better than on disc.
And why?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's almost. I think it's almost like a I don't know what it's more like a. I don't know. Like watching it on disc is you're kind of shut off. Where if you're watching something live, and I don't know why, it's a weird thing. I don't know what difference it makes, but
Well, I mean, I would liken it to I like reading a physical book. I don't want to read it on a reader. I want to read a physical book. You know, it's kind of like that. You know, and you maybe in that case would rather read it on a reader because then you just have it, and everybody else, you know, it's kind of where everybody else has access to it. I don't know.
Hey, Emma Jade.
Hey, that's a new picture, isn't it?
I don't think
so.
It's color. Let's put it that way.
Same pose. Maybe it is different. I don't know.
Is it just me, or this is a weird phenomenon I find that's like, and especially I'm seeing it more and more as I'm here quite a bit, and I watch more and more streaming and more stuff like YouTube and less TV. Okay, but sometimes you get sort of I find that I'm here and if I'm working away on something and I'm watching streaming stuff all afternoon, and then it's like it might even be a movie that I have, I could stream, I could watch on there, I could do whatever, but I'll want to watch it on regular TV, even with the commercials, because it's almost like I've opened up a window to the outside world that I've had closed off for a long time with streaming.
That's kind of what I was talking about, Pete, with watching it on disc as opposed to something else. I don't know. I feel closed off watching it. And it's really bizarre, but that's just how I feel. I don't know.
I am not in that camp. If a commercial comes on, I'm like, what in the hell?
Because if I'm not sitting there, if the show that's on TV is not 100 part of my focus, okay? So I'm watching, I put a show on, I'm watching the show. I don't care what it's on. I want to watch the show. I don't want the interruptions of the commercial. But if I'm sitting here working away at stuff and I have a TV show on, like let's say I put on MASH and stream MASH.
Sure.
All of a sudden, I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes of that roll by pretty quickly. Hey, Lemon, good to see you, man. 3 or 4 episodes of that roll by pretty quickly. Then all of a sudden, I feel like flipping it over to the Comedy Network and put on like Big Bang Theory or something with commercials, just because I feel like I'm not alone or not sealed up.
That's what I'm talking about, Pete. Yeah. Now, for movies, I would rather watch it streaming than on regular TV.
Okay.
But I also like it better than watching on DVD or
like Pierre's saying here, you got the the commercials cut the flow of the story. Not to mention they're worthless.
Yeah.
I don't care about hearing about drugs that may make me grow a second head or end up with 3 extra legs or want to kill everybody in the immediate vicinity.
I've watched two episodes of MASH today. Today I watched. I can't even tell you the ones I watched. I get them confused.
Now, Pete, after all these years, do any of the episodes ever
absolutely
seem to get better to you or worse to you the more you watch them? Or is it always kind of the
same? There are
same?
certain one now. I've sat and I've watched the entire series, like the whole 255 episodes. Probably over 20 times now.
Wow.
Let's do the math on that.
Huh?
Let's do the math on that.
Yeah, I know. 15 to 20 times. Now that's something though that I could put on. I'll sit there and it's funny because like I'll make dinner and I'll like eat and I'll clean up and it'll be on. And Chrissy sort of laughs at me, and she can actually do the same thing because she watches so much now too. Is I'll be sitting there like facing away, and I'll just be talking along with the dialogue as I'm doing the dishes, not paying the least bit of attention to it. Probably about a second to 2 seconds ahead of what they're going to say. I'll just say the lines they're going to say.
You should do a one-man show of an episode of MASH.
Pete missed his calling.
Well, I tell you, it's
one with a lot of clinger in it.
So today I watched the one. How do I pronounce? With where Father Mulcahy went up the chopper pilot had the dummy.
Yep.
They're playing practical jokes on each other. The Charles
big dummy
and Father Mulcahy. They destroyed the dummy by putting it in the closet. It fell on Margaret. Margaret beat up the dummy. The guy had to go rescue a guy, the chopper pilot, and he didn't have his dummy to be the counterweight. So Father Mulcahy went and hadn't gotten this promotion as Protest. Yeah, I've seen it like 1,000 times.
He didn't get the promotion. Yeah.
And So that was the one I watched tonight. I have no idea why I told you that, but you know.
Well, no, I think it's a. I mean that kind of a situation is totally relevant because it's it goes. My daughter was the same with Friends. Every time we would go and visit, the Jeffersons.
I'm
Yeah,
on season 9 of that right now.
I'm not a Brady Bunch fan, but I always love the Jeffersons.
I love the Jeffersons. It's never been my top.
I don't
It's in my top 5.
I don't think those words would ever come out of my mouth. But I mean, that I love the Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons watched is one of my favorite shows. Like, I don't know why.
I did watch it, so
I like it better than All in the Family.
Okay.
Well,
I like
the problem for me with All in the Family, I think it started off really strong, but then as it went, I don't know. I mean, I watched it all the way through, but there's no way I would watch those episodes again.
No?
Maybe the first season or two, but not the later ones.
It's such a controversial show. You can't. It's not streaming anywhere.
Yeah.
You can find it on like what is it, Pluto TV and stuff like that, but it's difficult to watch a series on Pluto TV because you don't really have enough control.
Good point.
But the Jeffersons now, I had bought all the DVDs. There are only six seasons out, 11 season show. There's only 6 that have ever been on DVD. Wow. And I had all those, and now it's on up here. It's on CTV Throwback, which is Canadian television. It's one of the 3 national channels, and it's on their Throwback streaming, which is a clunky old software, but you can still watch it. And it's like I start watching that, and man, it doesn't get old now. That's a show though that suffers terribly from just getting worse and worse as it gets later. It's more and more difficult to watch.
Which one, Pete?
The Jeffersons.
I haven't seen the later episodes, but I do remember liking some of the later ones because where George and Tom kind of became friends in a way.
Yeah. But I'm at that point.
Kind of like that. I kind of like that part. But if I had a choice to watch the Jeffersons or All in the Family, I'd probably pick the Jeffersons.
Yeah, I'll get through the Jeffersons because it's one of the ones. What am I going to turn on? I'll turn on the Jeffersons. Away it'll play, and I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes while I'm working on a video. Right? And I love it.
Scallywag's never seen the Jeffersons.
Wow. CTV Throwback, if you have that, which you probably have that if you get cable TV. You got it, Scallywag. Just check it out because the first 5-6 seasons are excellent.
Now,
it didn't, but you got to watch. Same as Battlestar Galactica or anything. You got to take that with the great assault that it was. The era it was made in, right?
See, I want to see it again. I want to watch the originals, but I don't know. I was trying to make my way through Buck Rogers, and I was having a tough time.
You didn't get there
yet?
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped because I was bored. I was like,
my all-time favorite. One of my all-time favorites. There's another one in my top 5. So, is Newhart, not the Bob Newhart show, but Newhart. And a lot of people say the Bob Newhart show is better. And I would never argue with anybody who does. I think Jeff, you like the Bob Newhart show better, correct?
I like Newhart better, but
I like the original Bob Newhart show.
Yeah, I like the one in Vermont better. Just because I love. It's kind of like a Green Acres type thing where you have like one normal person and everyone else is kind of a bit crazy. Everyone's just a bit off. I like that premise, like Green Acres and Newhart show. I just love that stuff.
I think Newhart sort of started, and that was the case right off the get-go. But over a 9-season span, Bob was pretty steady, and everything just got a little bit more insane around him.
Yes.
And so you got up to a point of where it was like, oh my God, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like completely other, and then they closed it perfectly. Still, in my mind, the best ending of a series.
I think it's the greatest series finale of all time. It's just
I agreed. Another one that I watch. I watched the whole thing on YouTube recently. Just no quality.
It's not really available, is it? Like full seasons, like the whole run.
I found it on YouTube.
On what?
On just some
Newhart
who put all the episodes up. A lot of them were old dubs off a Comedy Network here in Canada. People had recorded them as a standard definition and drove it up there. And however long they stayed up, it could be gone now. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, Jay and her dad would watch McHale's Navy, which I've barely seen. Hogan's
I
Heroes
love
and
McHale's
all that.
Navy.
Incredible Hulk, and Gomer Pyle.
Yeah, I own a lot of the Incredible Hulk. I have the first season of Gomer Pyle. I don't own Hogan's Heroes, but I started watching through it. I got through like the first 3. I got into the 3rd season, I think. McHale's Navy, I own 1 season of it. And I really like that show, though. Tim Conway just kills me.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't finished it, but I was watching the Apple Dumpling Gang over the weekend. And those 2 guys together.
And Conway and Don Knotts.
Yeah.
What a great combo.
Yeah. They were.
Hey, does anyone know why Kirk was replaced on Newhart? Did he want to go? Did they get rid of him?
Seems to me, and I should know this because I have watched the story before, but he didn't get along with the writers all that well. He was a writer, I think, and he went on to write a lot of different things too. Steve Campman's his name, but there was some conflict there with either the show's producers or maybe even Bob Newhart himself. I think the show's producers. He was great. They just decided to go another way, and it worked out for them. It was fine. Like, I love the Steve Campman seasons as well.
No, that was just 2, wasn't it?
Just 2, I believe. Yeah, and he got married. That was about it.
And then the housekeeper left at the same time, right?
No, the housekeeper only lasted 1 season because there's 1 season there with Stephanie and Kirk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God, it's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Of course, for everybody out here, I love Bob Newhart's one of my favorites. His 94th birthday, was yesterday.
Right.
So I posted a thing on my Papa Pete YouTube channel. And then later on, I found this video. It was like 18 minutes long of all these people like giving tribute to Bob Newhart and wishing him a happy birthday and stuff like that. It was just amazing to watch. Just amazing to watch. Like the different people. It's like Julia Duffy was on there for like a minute or so. It's like she looks so different. And William Sanderson, right? Larry, right there. Larry was there. And his was really neat. And then John Volstad, which is one of the Darryls, which was sort of weird because they just played an old clip of the 2 Darryls playing piano back to back.
Oh,
yeah. But just so many different people from Bob Newhart's life that he worked with right straight through. And of course, Norman Lear talked for about 2 minutes. He goes, and you're just a pup to me, because Norman Lear's what, 101, 102?
He's still alive?
Oh, yeah.
Norman Lear? Oh, my gosh.
Norman Lear is, yes.
I wonder how Bob Newhart's doing.
See, his wife Ginny died this winter.
Oh, geez. That's right. That's not
I don't know. I've not really seen much out about a lot of these clips as well were from people from the Big Bang Theory. Like Chuck Lorre started it off. And then there was Jim Parsons. Johnny Galecki did a bit talking to him. And it was pretty neat, of course. You know,
whoever came with the whole idea of Larry and his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl, it's pure genius. It's so funny.
It is. It is. It's just great. Yeah. And then there were these 3 woodsmen telling Emily about Woodsman. And I was married to this beautiful blonde.
Suzanne Plachette didn't appreciate that.
No, then the light comes back on.
Emily didn't like that.
Beautiful blonde. Emily, do you ever consider wearing more sweaters? End of series. That was beautiful. Yes, I really didn't even know who they're playing, Retro Bro. I have no idea how the Pats are going to do this year. I'm going to cheer Birds. Okay, who's that? Is it the Ravens?
Eagles, I think. Isn't Retro Bro in Philadelphia area?
Yeah, right.
I'm guessing the Eagles.
Yeah.
Papa Pete is like a book of pop culture knowledge from 60 to 99.
Well, I like stuff like that.
What happened after 99, Pete?
Just give up? I like the Big Bang Theory. That's after 99. I love
nothing with Star Wars.
How I Met Your Mother. I love that show too.
I've never seen that.
It didn't end well, but I'll tell you this right now. It's another one that they built up such an amazing show over the span of 8 years. And then they had, okay, well, we have to figure out how to end this. And then they got through the season. I really don't like that they chose to have almost the whole season being in the span of a week. And then the last show. And then, but when you look back, I've now watched that series 3 times. I turned it on again here like last year for the second time on streaming. And I have more of appreciation for it after I've watched it. At the time, it was a disappointment because the expectations were so high. But then when you sort of look back at what was there, they actually did a decent job of kind of giving everybody the best of all worlds. I mean, they just had to do it so quickly. So major disappointment at the beginning when I first saw it, because like, okay, that's not what I expected. But then as more deep thoughts with Jack Handy, it's like, well, they actually did all right, and it's not that bad. So I don't know, something that you get with multiple viewings.
See you, Retro.
See you, Retro.
Yeah. I was looking up this the Star Trek 10 movie collection on Blu-ray because I thought, well, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it's got 6, and then it's got
10, right?
Oh yeah, 7 is Generations, but they have a typo in here. First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis.
So I watched the first episode of Price is Right yesterday.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
It's so interesting. If you're a fan of Price is Right, it's really interesting. All the things that happened in that episode. It was so funny because like when they called the people, they called the person name. They said, "Come on down." Well, this one was stand up. And they did that 4 times. Then while they're all standing there, they said, "You're the next contestants on Price is Right. Come on down."
Oh,
but then after that, they just told each person to come on down.
Interesting.
And it was only 30 minutes. No showcase.
I can remember when I was a kid, it was only 30 minutes when I first started watching.
No big wheel. They just had 3 contestants, and whoever won the least amount got kicked out, and it was just the final 2. The very first episode, the guy bid $2,500 on a showcase showdown. It was $2,504. The very first showdown, he was off by $4.
No big deal. But they thought, holy shit, that was pretty close.
Yeah.
We should
they didn't give him both showcases because they hadn't thought about that yet. There was a lady who bid $250 to get up on stage. She got it exactly right.
Little things that they learned, sort of, hey, we should do something special for that.
Because later on, he'd ask the women to put their hand in his pocket and pull out $100 bill. I always thought that was pretty funny. Now reach right on in there.
Yeah, that's the way it was back then.
And only 2 models.
Have you seen the episode? I watched an episode on there not long ago. It would still be in my YouTube history. It was the very first 1-hour episode.
Ooh, I gotta see that.
First 1 hour, and it's a good quality episode. Like the recording is very good, and the wheel wasn't like the wheel that the wheel was flat, and they spun it like this. Like,
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And I don't remember that wheel. I don't think they used that wheel very long. Probably only like a series of shows they recorded that week. Maybe they would have got designed a different wheel.
Maybe somebody walked in and said, "I want to reinvent the wheel."
There you go. And there was no green spots there was no bonus spins, for example. Like there were never no bonus spins at that time. And it's pretty neat. What games did they play the first episode, Jeff? That's the secret.
Well, let's see. There was only 3. The very first one, this lady who looked like Mrs. Garrett from Facts of Life came up there. Oh, and the best part was she was holding her purse. There was 2 people that got up that were called down. They were carrying their purse. It was just so funny. It's like,
just didn't seem
by yourself.
Although, yeah. That's what happened, right?
No. But the first one was the one where it has a car. These cars were great. It was like
any number.
It was like pick a number or whatever it's called. It was a
any
car.
Number.
It was a range, and then piggy bank, of course.
That's called any number.
Yeah, and so her first 2 picks were the first number of the range and the third number of the range. So she was 1 away from getting that range. And then the next 4 numbers were all car.
Oh, wow.
But she did it in order: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. it was crazy. It's like, what?
Maybe that's what Brian F's got on there, and someone won a new Chevy Vega, which was like $2,700 on that first episode.
Yep. Actually, 2 people won cars. She won, but then she lost in the showdown to the guy. And she took the first showcase, and the second one had a car. And a car and something else. So
yeah,
I guess the car was less than 2,500 because the total was only 25 before.
I wonder if the person that won that Chevy Vega named their kid Suzanne Vega.
Maybe. Hey, Camaro, I was like, yeah,
Something
Bob Barker, $100 bill. The next item up for bid is in my pants.
How did I not come up with that?
Jeff didn't put that up on the screen, so I had to say it.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Oh, man.
Damn you, Trebek.
I remember watching that old show when it was a half hour, and I can remember watching it when it was a different host, and it was a half-hour show at night too.
Bill Cullen was the first host, I believe.
Well, was he the first host, or was it they made the secondary show, evening show, and they had Bill Cullen hosting?
I don't know. But Bill Cullen's like a all-time great game show host, but he's one of those guys, he wouldn't even be on TV today.
No.
They wouldn't even let him on.
No.
He had the huge Coke bottle glasses. Guy was ugly as you can get. He had polio or something. He couldn't really walk very well. I think he had the braces on his legs. I mean, he would never be on, which is a shame because he was great at what he did.
Yes, he was.
He was fantastic. And that's why I like the old game shows. The people that are on there are so real. Or, the later ones, they're all actors and comedians trying to get a job. They all end up on game shows. I'm like, I don't want to see you.
Lance sent that to us. And where's my phone? And was that just today, or was that
yesterday?
Yesterday. I gotta take a look because
what's funny is he sent that, but I didn't click on it. I was on YouTube and it just popped up. So I went ahead and watched it. And there were 2 models. One was Janice, who was on there all during the 80s.
Yep.
And the other woman was there for like 4 years, I think. But
the one that I watched with the sideways wheel, the flat wheel, the new guy, Kurt, or the original guy, Johnny Olson? George Gray, right there. He must be the new guy. I don't know that name. I swear Diane Parkinson, but she was a brunette.
Wait, what's that?
Janice Pennington, Diane Parkinson, Holly Holbrook were the 3.
Yes, the 3 like famous ones throughout the 80s.
I swear that the episode that I watched a couple weeks ago or last week, that was the original, the very first 1-hour episode where they introduced the wheel, and that it was Diane Parkinson, but her hair she was a brunette, not a blonde.
So was Janice in this first episode.
Well, there you go.
Janice was always my favorite.
So that was awesome. I love old game shows.
You are a game show fiend.
Well, the other day, and I haven't watched, I think I watched one of them. The Game Show Network had a special on from 8 a.m. until 4 in the afternoon or something like that, like 8 hours straight of Match Game with Bob Barker as being one of the panelists. I recorded it. I love the old Match Games. That's my favorite show. Like my favorite I like Match Game better than Price is Right. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I like Price is Right a lot better.
Oh,
what about
the
Match Pyramid?
Oh, I don't. Pyramids. I just like the comedy. I don't give a crap about
a game.
Pyramid's a real game. Like, it's a good game. Dick Clark
like
was
Hollywood
fine.
Squares.
Hollywood Squares was entertaining.
Gong Show.
Man, I could sit there. I could watch Gene the Dancing Machine all night long.
I could see you going as him back in the day for Halloween.
I had a cousin named Gene who pitched on our who was an orthodox pitcher. In other words, he didn't whip, but he could throw it. He could throw the ball as hard, just like this, that most whip pitchers could, and we called him Mean Gene, the pitching machine. So,
wow.
Yeah, the guy won a purple Mazda, and the woman, Mrs. Garrett, won a blue.
Is that the Vega?
I guess it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was really pretty cool looking car though.
Just what everybody needs, a purple Mazda.
Jeff actually worked with a woman. I've mentioned this on here, I think, a long time ago. Jeff actually worked with a woman who won on the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
There's a guy at work here who won on. He didn't win the showcase, but he won. I don't think he got in the showcase either, but he won the prizes, won the game on Price is Right. It's on YouTube. He showed it to me one day, so he's the new guy. Okay, thanks, Kurt.
Radio show on 97.1 called The Price is Wrong. Case ending. No case
And he
ending.
loves the Cardinals.
Mark Reardon. Huh. Wild. Kurt. Hey, Jeff, here you go.
Yes.
Gorn.
That's Gorn.
Oh, borderline slee stack.
What if he was in porn? It'd be like Gorn porn. Just saying.
Gorn porn. Wednesdays, it's a big day for porn.
Lance has no idea what we're talking about.
I know.
Oh, you must leave, huh? Sister's car won't start.
I guess we've offended her. Oh, I hope we haven't offended you, Emma.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, all the best to your heroism.
See you, Emma Jade.
Go save your sister or the car, and thusly saving your sister.
That's the worst when your car breaks down.
Dude, it's so weird, too. When your battery dies when you're in the middle of, like, I remember picking up Christine at the airport one time, and I parked, shut it off, waited. She got to the car. I turned the key, nothing. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? If I'd have just left it running. But weird. If Mrs. G didn't give a heartfelt life lesson and group hug after winning the Vega, was it even a canon, The Price of Life? The Price of Life.
Rab, deep, man. Too deep.
I'll be saying Gorn porn now for days. Thanks.
What was Mrs. Garrett? What was her real name?
Charlotte Ray.
Yeah, Charlotte Ray.
Yeah.
Has there ever been somebody on TV who's quit 2 popular TV shows? Because she quit Different Strokes.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was after the first season or maybe the second, but
she got her own show. That's why.
Yeah, she got her own show, but then she quit that one too.
She went at the very end after about 8 years.
Yeah, but it was still going on. What, Cloris Leachman was on for a couple?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then she played opposite Charles Nelson Riley in The Love Boat. So, and our man is back as Ace, the photographer on The Love Boat.
Michael
Hey,
Hayes.
Mike.
In season 7, he comes back. So now he's really close to being a regular.
Things they can't get away with anymore. The question on the match game the other day, the one episode I did watch was how the hell did that go?
On the side of an old quarter-mile dirt track.
Blah blah blah. And Charles Nelson Riley and Brett Summers have to exchange blank. Okay, and the answer they put was sexes. All right. And Brett Summers' answer when someone said sexist, she goes, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that feminine.
Or shall I say? Oh, crap. That's great.
Oh, God. It's just the stuff they did. And they're all drunk. You know, how many shows did you watch? Like, it was great because you can watch the block of 5 shows. Decent, funny, hilarious, hammered.
Yeah, they knock out 5 a day, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
and they were drinking the whole time. So,
yeah. Speaking of those classic hilarious shows, and the Hollywood Squares. Gene Rayburn's been on Love Boat now throughout these 7 seasons, at least, I think 3 times.
Wow.
He was on a roll back then. I'll take the rapist for 400 Alex. The rapist. That's therapist. Damn you, Trebek.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. Somebody like for those cars, the taxes. That hurts.
And the woman that I was talking about earlier, who was on there and won, she sold that motorcycle because that's what she won. She won a motorcycle. She said, I'll never ride a motorcycle. So basically, you sell it to pay for what you had to pay.
Hey, Casey.
Casey. Yeah, it's crazy. All that stuff. It costs you.
But my all-time favorite game show, Pressure Luck.
Oh yeah,
there you go. What's his name? Michael Landsberg or
Michael. Shoot, what was his name? I don't remember his name. Peter Tamarkin was the host.
Peter Tamarkin, yeah. That was I watched that show like it was on the Game Show Network, I believe. That special. Oh, he was Kurt in Lidsville. Yeah.
Lidsville.
I've got a book on game shows around here somewhere. But then I found out, Pete, on YouTube, watching a bunch of game show stuff, there's a whole bunch of Canadian game shows that I've never seen.
Oh, really?
That didn't make it here. They're just in Canada. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, look at that. That was just one episode?
Well, this was the very first episode. I don't know how many episodes they did it, but it's the first ever hour-long episode. And this is him introducing the Showcase Showdown wheel.
Wow.
This is pretty cool. I like the look of it.
Yeah.
And the first spinner got $1.
What's wild is,
there was no bonus.
But they didn't get $1,000. Right?
They did get $1,000. But there was no bonus spin.
Huh.
How does that work? Is it still $1,000 or $10,000?
No, it's 5,000 if you get the. Oh, how is that? 5,000 if you get the 5 and 10 if you get the 15, or no, 10 if you get the $1 again.
Casey doesn't remember that wheel.
I don't either. Do you think the numbers are in the same order?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Because the 5 and the 15, I think, are right.
Yeah,
I think that's a mathematical equation, the order of the numbers.
Okay.
If there's any chance that wheel exists somewhere, or think they just have the dump.
There used to be a website on called The Golden Road, and it was all about the history. It used to. I can remember, this is a long time ago now, but I've looked since and not found it. But it had tons of backstage pictures from the Price is Right and all these different bonus for the 10,000 or 5,000 if you hit a green. There you go. But the all kinds of pictures from the backstage, like for example, the big wheel. Okay, it had pictures of it from every angle of what it looked like from the back, and they look pretty crappy from the backside. Let me tell you that.
Who was the first host of The Price is Right?
Oh, Bill Cullen. Like that's in the earlier version, right?
I'm just curious if there's any others between Bill Cullen and.
There's a different guy who hosted The Price is Right in the evenings. I swear, I don't think it was Bill Cullen either. I could picture him.
There's a book.
I gotta look.
There's a book title right there from Bill to Bob. Bill to Bob. Just kind of funny. Thanks for.
I'd like a book on The Price is Right games. That's what I'd like.
Yeah. I mean, it's
one exists. That'd be great, though.
It is kind of wild how they make all of these different pieces like that. Wheel and being graphic designers. We put things together over the years that are. You're like, oh, there you go. Spend all those hours cutting everything, putting everything together. And then they're like, yeah, we got this new wheel. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Well, and it goes back to, I remember talking about it recently too with somebody about the things that you do to throw together to get things done. Like the guy who used his old sock to do the Yoda cloak for the toy, just to get it into the meeting.
Dennis James is the guy I'm thinking of.
Dennis James.
Yeah.
The Custom Mills.
I think he hosted the evening show for
Dennis
a while.
James said did 4 episodes, I guess, when Bob Barker couldn't make it. Is
That's
that right?
all it was? That's the guy I can remember. That's weird.
Weird, wild stuff.
I do notice the later ones, which I stopped watching after Bob Barker, but in the later ones, people start dressing up more, like they think they're on Let's Make a Deal or something.
Yeah.
The early ones, every so often you'd see a T-shirt that was handmade, but for the most part, it was just normal people. Now it's like they go for the. And I know they've always screened the people who they want to be on there, but I don't know. I feel like it's all the same people now.
I do not know what this is.
You should hold up your head like Karnak.
I wish I could come up with something. I mean, he had writers for that. So let's see what we got here.
What's in the envelope?
Oh, there you go. I talked about it last week, and here it is.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, cart only. I kind of thought it might have more, but it's got the manual with it. Sorry, cart and manual. It was under $10.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have another one. We got the big box here. Pete, you have anything on order?
I got some stuff here. And I've got some games.
Some of this stuff, I still have stuff back here I'm saving for a remastered Megaforce on Blu-ray.
I've got pickups.
Oh, and then you probably did a video, right, about too many games?
Too many games.
When are you going to that? That next month?
The PRGE is next month. Yeah.
That's next month, right?
Yeah. October. Yes. Yeah.
I still wish Jeff and I could just buy some tickets and fly out.
Casey wants to know how the new chair is treating you, Stuart.
How the new what?
The new chair.
Chair is doing great. I love it.
You're making Casey want to buy stuff. And
then I just got this. This is my new shirt. I had a buddy of mine at school was wearing it.
I gotta say it. The wind makes Casey want to buy stuff.
And there you go. He had this Kelly green Fender shirt. I'm like, dude, I love that shirt. And I went home and looked it up and bought one. I love it. I haven't worn it yet, obviously, but I'm waiting for the right day. So I've been buying these groups of stickers. Like I bought these are all Thor stickers, and they're different styles, but they're only like $4. Yeah, what is that?
Is that for the convention, Pete?
Yeah,
Pete's such a narcissist.
Thank you.
Now, Pete, if you're walking there after you've been handing these out, and then you see one in the trash can, will you pull it out and save it?
Well, yeah, I'll just give it to the next person.
Yeah, just take it right out of the can and just hand it something.
I want you to know this sticker was refused. So it's a collector's item. So yeah, all kinds of these Thor stickers. So everything from, artwork like that to kind of a comic book art to some stuff from like the movie artwork.
That's cool.
And then there's like this. Still worthy. And then they have some others. Boy, I can't get to them here. And then there's stuff like this from like the Superhero Squad. And Where's the other one here? And I like this. So it's all kinds of different stuff. I'm trying to find one of the other silly ones that I can't find it. Anyway, so one thing that I got here in this package, and I just put it down here. Where did I just put it on? So anyway, got some more of those stickers, but they're like anywhere from $4 to $6. And they're great. Now, when we were at Jeff and I noticed at the convention, you know, people are buying these up on Amazon, and then they put them all in a box, and they sell them for like $1 a piece for each sticker. You're like $1. I just bought a crap ton of those for $3, $4. You know.
But there you go. If you have 100, you buy 100 stickers for $3, and you sell 3 of them for $2 each. You double your money, and you still got 90-some stickers.
Yep.
So what's my line the one that had Bill Cullen a lot on there, where they tried to guess who the person, what the person did, or what they were, what they did for a job, or what they were known for? What was that?
No, that was what's my
because there's a great YouTube clip of, I guess it's the whole show of either that or another one of the shows back in the 50s, where the guy on there, they were trying to guess what he was famous for or what he did.
Yeah.
He was a witness to the Abraham Lincoln murder.
Oh yeah.
What?
And it's so weird to think, because this is in the 50s, and you think, well, wait a minute, Abraham Lincoln, that's like a million years ago. But really, he was like 5, and I think that at that point he was like 95 or something crazy. That
is nuts.
But still, can you imagine that guy?
I remember seeing that clip. Yes,
in the 50s, and he was there when Lincoln got shot.
That's crazy. We were just talking about that at school. That's crazy. Oh, these are cool. These are all, they're not all Marvel, but they have some DC in here too. They're really neat. Anyway. And of course, my favorite snack, I bought it again. Hot tamales. It's always good to have hot tamales on hand.
You have a good supply.
What?
That's a good supply of hot tamales.
It is. And it's so much, it's cheaper on Amazon. You can get that whole 12-pack box for $15. So you buy them at the store, they're at least $1.25, if not more. Here's one for you guys. You ready?
Used cars. There you go.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
It was down to $5. I'm like, I'll take it. And of course, one extra instrument cable. Can't have enough of those. Not when you're playing gigs. In the meantime, ooh, you gotta love that.
Celia's raking you over the coals here for your purchasing habits there, Stuart.
Someone's shining in front of him to see where he'll go. What?
Just talking about your fun to watch doing these unboxings.
I know, they're epic.
Stu is fun to watch.
That's it. And it's fun to make. So
yeah, the Groucho Marx game show too was interesting, because he had sometimes you see a famous person before they were even famous.
Right.
What was it? I think he had a guy, was his name Lou Budding, I think. And he asked him what he did, and the guy said he was coming up with this process of selling like sliced meat, like turkey and ham and stuff, and selling it in the grocery stores. And Groucho was like, good luck with that. And then it's like, this is the budding meat guy.
Yeah.
This is when he's just starting out. It's like, wow, how cool is that?
Good old budding meat.
Or like on I Love Lucy, the makeup artist, I Love Lucy, Max Factor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a real guy. I didn't realize that company was named after a guy.
No, there's really
a cool
Max
name,
Factor.
Max Factor.
It's not just the Max Factor.
I agree. That's a good idea, Brian. Brian says you can sell your hot tamales on movie night to family members for $3.50 a box for that true theater experience. And then you could show them The Last Jedi to completely and utterly rip them off.
Then they'd be like, oh. I'd be cleaning up hot tamales like nobody's business. Or if I show them Rise of Skywalker, I could be pelted with them.
I still think Last Jedi is worse, but not much.
I mean, one begat the other, so yeah, sure, why not?
Well, one destroyed everything, and the next one like tried to do something to try to make up for the last one, and didn't really succeed.
And failed.
Yeah.
Now, just watch Star Trek movies. I said you could just watch Star Trek movies.
Yeah, I like Star Trek movies. I'm looking forward to watching Nemesis, although they say Nemesis is the worst one of the bunch. I've only watched it once, way back when.
Yeah,
I saw it. I don't remember it being bad, but I don't know. That's the next one for me to watch. So I'll see.
Yeah, same here.
I will say this: I watched.
Series, so.
What was one before that?
Insurrection.
Insurrection
Really, really seemed to me like an extended episode. I did not enjoy the first half of it. I watched half it and sort of like, am I ever going to get back to it? I did go back to it, and I did very much enjoy the end of it.
Oh, I'm thinking of First Contact.
Oh, I like First Contact.
So. Yeah, I liked it a lot, but when I watched this last time, I didn't like it as much for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I still liked it.
Fair enough. Yeah,
but it wasn't quite as good as I remembered, even though I still liked it.
Saboteur, there might be still time for you to learn to love yourself more than this.
That's just what it is, Celia.
It's maybe you don't do that to yourself.
Pete, you can make that into a cat scratcher right now.
That's right.
Cat scratcher. He's having too much fun. Colonel Sanders came on the What's My Line show as a regular contestant. Nobody on the panel knew who he was.
That's so weird. I just saw that thumbnail for Colonel Sanders on that show.
Is that right?
On YouTube today.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess, it was black and white, so I guess that was in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone, was that one? Did KFC, were they franchising way back then in the 70s or in the 60s?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Because come to think of it, why would they know who he was?
I almost
back then.
I almost stopped in there to get some eats.
Max Factor sounds like a cool PI lead from the 80s pilot.
Founded
makeup magnate.
It's almost to its anniversary. For 70, it'll be next year. It will. Well, I'm sorry. Last year it was 70 years old.
What's that?
KFC. Started in 1952. But September 24th, so it's coming up on its 71st anniversary.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders sold that really early.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. I don't think he made a ton of money.
He sold it, then got a contract just to promote it, right?
Yeah. They used him as the PR guy or the face of KFC, basically. But yeah. I think if I remember, I think he was pretty upset because he sold it. I guess it wasn't that much money considering how big that restaurant became.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like me who made, I don't know, $50, $75 to do the chicken artwork for Koch Foods out of Chicago. Now it's on their trucks, on their boxes, everywhere. So, yeah.
But Dave Thomas was, I think, like a driving force of KFC. The Wendy's guy.
Mm-hmm.
He came up with a bucket of chicken and eventually left to make Wendy's.
Harlan Sanders was born in 1890 and raised on a farm outside Henryville, Indiana, near Louisville, Kentucky.
He's still alive.
Who?
Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders versus Orville Redenbacher. I'm going to give it to Redenbacher just because I watched that I watched that food that built America, and Redenbacher spent 40 years of his life developing the perfect kernel of popcorn to pop. And he went a long time with his he had like a business partner, and they weren't getting jack from it because he kept going and going, trying to make it better and better. And it's like, holy smokes. By the time it hit, he was, fairly old.
You were right.
But that's because he was sitting there trying to perfect it this whole time.
Oh God. I mean, and does anybody
that much
really
time
know?
And people are telling him, hey, look, Orville, just give it up already.
Well, and do you and I, who buy any of those products, ever know? Do you know the difference?
I always buy Orville Redenbacher just because I like it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it pops better.
Well, okay.
But I haven't done any tests.
Well, we need to do that.
That should be an episode.
Yeah, we'll pop some popcorn. Yeah. Orville was not an attractive guy. That is correct.
No. No. All those years of research took its toll. What the heck did he look like when he was younger?
Same. No wrinkles, though.
Brown hair.
Yeah.
It's like, looked like Schwarzenegger. Looked like Stallone. Looked like Fabio. He had long hair.
Hey, Invader Gaming, what's going on?
Could you imagine that? Orville Redenbacher in the lab getting the perfect kernel with hair like mine. And he's get this beard down here. And then he gets it. And then they have to market it. And then he goes all clean cut. We're going to do something about that hair.
Well, if I remember right, Orville Redenbacher's popcorn was really tanking, and somebody had the idea of making him the spokesperson because he had worked on this for 40 years, and they said, you got so much passion, maybe you'll relate, maybe the people will be able to relate to you, and that's when it started to take off. I guess we've seen him
like a lot of our dads.
Yeah. What's the name is great.
Orville Redenbacher. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a long name, but it does roll off the tongue. You're kind of
Orville Redenbacher.
Redenbacher. Yeah. All I'm trying to think of is a kid trying to say that. Orville Redenbacher. Becker. Like my wife. Yeah, I saw that show about Todd Rundgren. Rundgren? Well, yeah, that's what I said. Rundgren.
In other words, what you're saying, Kurt, is you like low-calorie popcorn.
Yes. Popped in a pan of butter and garlic salt.
Yeah, no low-calorie popcorn.
Does anyone like sweet popcorn as opposed to savory?
Oh, hell yeah. Caramel corn?
Or?
Well, there's that and
kettle corn.
Yeah, kettle corn.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Kick ass.
Oh, it's all good.
Toffee. There's toffee corn.
All good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good shit. And then you got to make sure you put some salt with it, though. So, I love making caramel corn. I haven't made that in a few years. I need to make some of that this holiday. Maybe I'll make some and take it up to the pumpkin festival.
Well, Casey likes caramel popcorn.
Yeah, Casey. What about that Chicago mix that they do where it's caramel corn and the cheese corn?
Jeez, that's good.
Yeah, who makes that? They have the one brand they sell at Sam's.
Yeah, Costco here.
Is it EG something or something like that?
I don't know.
EG Carruthers or something like that? I don't know.
Something like that. When it's on sale, we usually it's one of those things that, that's on sale for $2 off, whatever. I'll grab a bag, but that's about it,
Well, what really, you got to make sure you shake it too, because otherwise you're just sitting there eating cheese corn for half the day. And all of a sudden you're like,
yeah,
where's all the caramel corn? It's all heavy. It's all at the bottom.
That's Orville Redenbacher.
You can check them jowls.
I know. Look how much heavier it is then. A few guys that actually lost weight getting older.
Haven't tried or seen it? Oh yeah.
If his name wasn't great enough, Orville Redenbacher, throw in his middle name, Clarence.
Horrible Clarence Redenbacher.
Orville Clarence. You can get beat up twice for that name.
Oh, what's going on? His mother's name was Julia, and his father was William. How'd they come up with Orville Clarence?
Because they were friggin' mean.
Hey. His mom's maiden name was Deerdorf, and it's spelled just like Dan Deerdorf.
Really?
Football Cardinals. Wait, where's he from?
Maybe Orville Redenbacher and Dan Deerdorf are actually illegitimate brothers.
Oh, that'd be great.
What a scandal. Right here on Go Game Go.
Dan Deerdorf's still alive, right?
Dan Deerdorf, I think so.
Yeah, I think I would have heard. That's a great name too, Dan Deerdorf.
Does anybody ever call him Dee Dee?
I take it back. Orville's mom had 2 F's at the name of Deerdorf. Dan Deerdorf has 1.
Yeah, but maybe they just dropped it.
Somebody could have just dropped it though.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe it was to hide the relationship between him and Orville.
That's right. Maybe Dan was a Act 1 kind of popcorn lover.
How dare you? I kind of like Deerberg's brand of popcorn for some reason. Well, I mean, you're finding the all-dressed chips there. Kurt, what brand are those all-dressed chips? Did he mention that?
No, but I think they were Lay's, weren't they?
Those were Lay's, yeah, that he had.
Okay. See? Ted McGinley.
When in doubt, blame Stan Gable.
All comes back to Ted McGinley.
I've been McGinley.
There he is under us.
The underlying McGinley. Orville's from Indiana. Went to Purdue.
Does that mean he had chicken popcorn?
I was almost going to say that. Popcorn chicken.
Wow.
Lance prefers Conrad Dobler to Dan Deerdorf.
Conrad Dobler.
Oh yeah, he was considered like the nastiest football player going during his time period. He was really dirty. He played dirty.
Like Butkus.
I prefer the New England Patriots classic player, Harry Colin.
I remember that. Harry Colin. Well, that's a shame, Harry.
They were Lay's, and we are out of them now.
All dressed up is gone.
No. They were all dressed up and had somewhere to go. Now they're gone. Oh, nothing worse than dropping a piece of candy. Well, I mean, there's other worse things, but when you drop candy, there's nothing like it. Damn it. Pete, my other question.
Yes.
Finally.
Okay.
With 16 and a half minutes left. Have you watched Ahsoka?
Yes.
And
I've not watched this week's.
What do you think?
Chrissy likes it more than I like it. I will keep watching it.
You're a better man than I.
Well, if it comes to watching a show, I'm probably going to watch it. You give up very quickly.
Oh, no. It's not giving up. I'm just not going to waste my time.
Yeah, something we watch. Look forward to watching that every week, and we're going to watch it. It's only a half hour, for Pete's sake. So the first two were pretty long. The first one were like 47 and 52 minutes. Last week's was only 30 minutes, and it was okay. We'll see.
Yeah, I've been watching some of the reviews. I have a better time watching the reviews than I do.
Yeah.
It's just, the semantics that go on in the show, where, it's just silly. And then they stare at each other a lot. There's no emotion. There's,
I think there's going to be something come out there because Ahsoka's, I find her so different from her character but I've only watched very little of the Clone Wars, and I could see where she became bitter at the end. I would think she would, because she went through, basically the split up of Padawan and Master, and then she had the exact same split up with, and I find it very ironic that Sabine Wren there's going to be more come out of that there's some sort of dealing there, and then who the hell are these Jedi that are not Jedi, and who the hell is this Morgan or Morgana or whatever her name is? And so there's a lot of questions so far, more questions than answers, but the action's been okay. But there's, again, more questions than answers. So just keep going.
The character doesn't show much personality. Yeah, right.
Or you could watch Star Trek.
Or you could watch both.
Or Newhart.
Or both, or all three.
I would watch Newhart if I could find it.
If I find that page, I will send you a link.
I've seen a page, Pete, but they didn't have it in order or by season. It was.
I found a good one at one time, and that's why I needed to watch it all. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, it got pulled and come back up on a different one. I found it halfway through, which is what happens with these things, right?
Yeah, I don't think Newhart they're not streaming anywhere, are they?
It's not, no.
And
it's quite expensive to get I don't know that you could buy a complete season. You could buy on Amazon, you can get so many seasons, but it's going to cost you money, serious money.
Yeah, but no, not this. You can get all 8 seasons on DVD for $50.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Or you can get both series for $141.
What's that? The Bob Newhart show and Newhart and Bob?
Yeah, but you can buy Newhart, the Bob Newhart show complete series for $54, and then $52 you can buy Newhart.
Well, according to this, Amazon Prime has all 8 seasons.
Whoa!
Included with Prime, it says.
Well, there you go. You'll be there then.
Season 8, episode 2. The title of that episode is "Get Dick."
Wow.
Oh yeah. Poor Tug. He's never gonna be the same after tomorrow.
Oh no, tomorrow's the day.
Yep. Poor guy.
Oh man.
And he can't eat anything now. Rest of the night.
Manscaped.
Morning. Poor guy.
Beam me up, Scotty, but don't beam me up. Especially beam me up if I'm wearing a red shirt like Pete. Beam me up like right now.
Been watching with Nathan. We were laughing because they'll send 3 guys down, and one of them's in a red shirt, and the other 2 are Bones and Kirk, or Bones and Spock. But who's not coming back.
They send them down because they don't want the bloodstains won't show on those shirts.
Oh, there was such a great moment with Bones and Spock where Spock was just standing there looking like he's doing nothing, and Bones got all pissed off because I think Kirk was stranded on a planet or something, and he yelled at Spock he goes, "You need to start using that Vulcan brain to figure out a plan or something to get Kirk back." And Spock just stands there, raises one eyebrow, and says, "I am." He was just staring. It just was, it just reminded me of Sheldon. Where Sheldon's such a Spock-like character. He was that's something that Sheldon was said too.
Right. Oh man. Yeah, Christine took our cat in to the vet. And I'm always like, let me take the cat in. Because he's a problem when he goes. And they took him in the back, and she hadn't got a sample because I took I cleaned out the cat box. So he hadn't left a sample in there that she could take. Oh, he gave him all the samples right there. He got so mad, he crapped and peed everywhere.
Oh boy.
I'm like, okay, you got to do this. You got to set up these appointments so that I can go. So
There's no Newhart available on Amazon Prime in Canada.
Oh, wow. You're going to move down here now, Pete?
Can you go to your sister's house and watch it?
I could conceivably do that, yes.
There you go. Take a pizza or some chicken.
Might be easier to get a VPN.
Yeah, right. Or that. Sure. There's that. Or we can just buy it for you, Pete, and send it to you.
Tell her you're coming. You're going to be staying with her for like a month. You gotta watch
a month or however long it takes me to get through this show.
Fastback's here. What's going on, Fastback?
Hey, Fastback.
Oh man, I don't envy your dog for tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's good for them.
That's what Bob Barker says.
Worry about.
What's that, Pete?
One less thing for the dog to worry about.
Oh man,
or two less things, I guess.
Poor Tuggy.
Oh damn. Oh man.
I told him earlier. I said tomorrow's gonna be the worst day of your life, and you don't even know it yet.
Oh man.
I'm saying he's so young. He hasn't even seen snow yet. Maybe in a couple of months we'll get some snow and he can run around outside.
Oh,
I'm not like I hate snow now. I don't want snow.
You're Canadian. You have to love it.
Yeah.
Snow and syrup.
Yeah.
And hockey.
I like hockey.
Yeah, there you go.
I like hockey.
But all the American teams get Canadian players, and all the Canadian teams get players from Arizona, and all the American teams win the Stanley Cups.
That's because Arizona's got all the snow, right?
Toronto Maple Leafs top player. They just signed him for like $14 million a year for four more years. He's good, but he's never done anything in the playoffs because he's a goal scorer, like regular season hockey player, and he's from Arizona. It's like the best player ever to come to Arizona, that's for sure. But
do you have any hockey players up in Greenland?
I don't think there's very much up in Greenland. That's part of Denmark,
Pete, have you ever been to Greenland?
Probably closer to Lance in California than I am Greenland.
It's right next to you on the map, Pete.
Yeah, it is.
It's right there.
It's the United States and Canada.
Right.
Greenland.
Yeah, I think there's like 50,000 people in Greenland, isn't there? There's
like
almost nobody there.
It's not very many.
What brilliant names for those countries.
But what's a part of it? It's Danish. It's part of Denmark.
Maple syrup and snow's what we export.
You're right.
Two of my favorite things. Snow can stay in No, I want the snow.
That's about it. Me too, Kurt. I don't care if it snows at all anymore. I'm just as happy to get no snow. The only time snow is good is it's better if it's going to get down to 20 below, and there's better to have snow than not have snow when it's 20 below.
Is that your Dr. Seuss moment for the day?
Yeah, but it's true though, because it's funny how if you have a large amount of snow, it'll make that won't seem as cold.
You're correct. When we get snow here, it doesn't feel anywhere near as cold. I don't know why.
No.
Michael's a half-breed. Cher sang about him. My sister-in-law, evidently, when she was growing up and that song was big, she thought it was ham-free, not half-breed.
Mike's about the same distance away, maybe a little bit further from the other country than I am. So
we also treat curling like it's a real sport.
There's 2 curling games on the Switch. Isn't that crazy?
You know what's neat though? You could have a really tidy home if you practice curling at your house.
Yeah, in each room.
No, because there's no control. You don't need a dustpan.
Ooh, No Control. I do that song.
Pierre doesn't like the snow either. What's going on?
There you go.
Man, what's
I
up
know
with
Pierre's from
everybody?
Montreal. Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys.
Now, Pierre, I hate it. Well, okay. I hate it when people say Toronto, Canada, or Montreal, Canada, or Vancouver, Canada, or Regina, Canada. Because you never say New York, USA, do you? You never say, where do you live? I live in St. Louis, United States. Do you ever say that?
That's because we don't know your states or
Not
provinces.
until now. Now I will.
St. Louis, United States?
Yeah. Where do you live? St. Louis, United States.
St. Louis, United States. You get that all the time. You get Montreal, Canada.
In a little place called
Montreal,
Missouri.
Quebec. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Toronto, Ontario.
Not
or you
New
can be like
Brunswick.
WWF and say Bret Hart from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
That's a lot.
It's almost like the city is in trouble, and you use it's not just the middle name. You use the
That's
last
right.
name.
You had to use all three names.
Like our show, we're always in trouble. And Game is the middle name. You realize Game is the middle name. The first and last name are Go-Go.
Pete,
Sure.
I watched an episode of Raw from 1998.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And it was the one where Stone Cold told Vince McMahon he was going to wrestle him that night. One way or the other, he was wrestling him. And then McMahon comes out with his, with Pat Patterson and Briscoe and Sergeant Slaughter. They all come out and they're talking. And eventually, I'm all ready. I'm like, oh, I'm going to see this. And then Dude Love comes out. And he was just god awful. I love Mick Foley, but this was terrible. He just came out and well, it's not his fault. They made him do it, obviously, but he just came out and talked, and then they just kind of ended the show. They didn't even wrestle. I'm like, God, what a stupid ending.
It's kind of like having me
build
on the
up,
show.
and then they bring out Dude Love, and he just
that. Every once in a while, they would give a payoff, but they were just so notorious for having the build up with no payoff back in that era. Occasionally, there was a payoff, but
Pretty wild.
as opposed to Calgary, Wisconsin. Is there a Calgary, Wisconsin? Maybe there is.
I don't know.
There's a Kansas City, Missouri, and a Kansas City, Kansas.
Pat Patterson. I thought he was from Montreal, Pierre.
Montreal, Canada.
Oh, there was a
Quebec City is Quebec as well, like Mexico City, Mexico. There you go. I say Mexico City, Mexico. There's states in Mexico too.
Hey,
so it's all a matter of perspective, right?
Written by Vince Russo. Pete, I don't know. Did I mention this before, like last week or so? Wicked Smile. Did I mention those guys? The band. Check them out. Their album Wait for the Night came out in 21, and they're out of Ontario. Really good record. Really good record.
That's right. There's a Mexico, Missouri, and a Cuba, Missouri.
There's a Mexico,
Lebanon,
Maine,
Missouri.
and a China, Maine too.
China, Maine.
Paris, Maine.
There's a Lebanon, Missouri, and a Lebanon, Illinois. Let's see. What was I going to put? Oh yeah. That's
yeah, Paris, Missouri as well. A lot of Parises.
Hopefully, I'll have these guys on my show. And I'm planning on coming back next Wednesday. I'm going to plan on doing the shows on Wednesdays at 3. So, just depends on who all is here, what the audience thing is like at that point. But yeah, next Wednesday is when Hammer Away continues.
Mexico, Indiana is in Miami County.
Nice. Very good.
There is a Uranus, Missouri as well,
There it is.
because that's where what is it? You get the Uranus fudge or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think it's actual city. I think it's just that Uranus, Missouri is like a strip mall, basically. Well, it's a big strip mall. It kind of goes all the way around. I don't believe there's a town called that. I mean, Uranus, Missouri is up there, all these billboards, but I think it's just referring to that little section. A genius move by this woman who started
it.
I watched that episode of Star Trek last week, too.
Which one?
The one that Captain Kirk was zipping around Uranus, wiping out Klingons.
I stepped right into that. Now I got to go clean shit off my shoes.
I figured you lined that up so perfectly. I thought
I know, right?
What say.
Thanks for grabbing the bat and knocking it out of the park, Pete.
Yeah. Thank you for putting it on the tee.
That was a hat trick. I don't care whatever.
This is their slogan at the Fudge Factory at Uranus, Missouri. The best fudge comes from Uranus.
Oh boy!
Now we know where we're taking Pete when he comes here.
I do
How
not.
How far away is that, Jeff? Like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a ways
is it
away.
Halfway between here and Springfield?
It might be.
Is it off 44?
I think so.
Yeah. Blue Ball, Pennsylvania. Intercourse.
Yeah, I've heard of Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
One night recently, two friends in two separate bands played right next door to each other at Salvatore's, was foreplay, and next door, at the bar next door, was Happy Endings band.
There's also a town called Come By Chance, Newfoundland. Don't say Come By Chance, Canada. They'll look at you like you're nuts. But as soon as you say Come By Chance, Newfoundland, people all over Canada will say, oh, yeah, right. That's true.
What if you say Newfoundland?
About 20 minutes down the road from Dildo. Dildo, Newfoundland. I'm not lying.
Oh, my God. As always, ranks right up there with Jeff and I when we used to work with Dick Ramage. Unbelievable.
Oh, here, so this is close to Rolla, so
yeah, so that's off 44 there.
Rolla's an hour and a half. I don't know if it's past Rolla or closer to St. Louis, but
I think it's on the other side of Rolla.
So probably hour and a half to 2 hours, somewhere on there.
Yeah.
Kentucky has Beaver Lick Park.
Don't you think you're being a little rough on the beaver?
Dildo, Newfoundland.
It's an upgrade over Pickle Parks.
Well, guys, we have come to the midway portion of the show.
Yes.
Or maybe we should just call it a night.
Well, let's just call it. Let's just call it a night. No, it's about 2 hours from your house.
Casey has pictures. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
What is this?
That's Dildo, Newfoundland. That's an interesting paint job there.
Go to Dildo and get stiff.
Nice little seaside town.
Or if you're a Devo fan, you be stiff. That is it, huh? Dildo,
Newfoundland. There's a really good microbrewery there. I haven't tried it yet, but they got beer there.
Is it Dildo brand?
There's Captain Dildo.
Wait.
I have this feeling that they're gonna come up with a new Godzilla versus Kong. It's going to end up in Newfoundland here at Dildo, and Kong is going to get knocked back, and that captain is going to go right up his ass.
Is there any kind of a statue in Dildo, Newfoundland, Pete?
You can climb all over there's all the different places. Cowhead, Petty Harbor, Dildo Run, Cupid's, Joe Bat's Arm. Yeah.
How far is that from you?
If I left now driving, I could probably be there about 20 minutes after I could go to Vancouver.
Oh my!
It's 8-hour drive, 6-hour ferry ride, 10-hour drive.
Okay,
so I could be to St. Louis a lot quicker.
Camaro knows a guy named Dick Stump.
Stump. No shit.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, look,
Lance
there's
has
a
a good
sign up at the top, right up in here. Look, can you see it up at the top? Dildo up at the side of there it is.
Mascot name for Dildo High School.
Right up on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, Lance wants to know what the mascot name is for the Dildo High School.
The Pricks. Steely Dan's. I wonder if Steely Dan is their favorite band in that town. I still can't believe that ended up.
Probably the Wonder Weasels or something.
The Beavers. I still can't believe that ended up in a trivia that took place at a church where they were talking about Steely Dan and what their name meant, from where it was derived. I'm like, are they serious? Do they really know what the name means or what it is? Or do they not care? It's really weird.
Here, Casey sent this. The pictures he's talking about was from Uranus. Like, big fun in Uranus.
Big fun. Ooh.
Maybe Uranus, Missouri, and Dildo, Newfoundland can do a collaboration.
I smell a series of Go Game Go t-shirts.
Casey sent me a picture of him standing under the Come and Go sign.
Oh yeah. I was going to mention Come and Go earlier. So we could have the Uranus Dildo tour hosted by Dick Ramage.
I don't know. Playing the harmonica. I'm not sure what story that is.
Welcome to Come by Chance.
There were tons of signs along the freeway. Casey, I can tell you from California it's because you said freeway.
Unbelievable.
I gotta ask, that mean there's no tolls on the freeway?
I don't know what it means, because here it's just called highway. There's nobody calls them freeways here.
Do you have tolls?
What's that?
I don't know of any tolls in Missouri. I mean, there might be, but
yeah, I don't
know of any in Missouri.
Yeah,
certainly nothing around us.
Definitely in Illinois. Long, flexible tongue.
Oh, I will not tell that story.
I will not tell that story.
We're risking a copyright strike for dildo footage.
I suppose, yeah.
Peter, you gonna watch the Blue Beetle movie?
Don't know.
Okay.
Doubtful.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, shouldn't have tolls if it's free.
That's right.
What's the difference between a highway and a freeway? Is there a difference? All I know about freeways are that Mr. and Mrs. Hart named their dog Freeway.
It's like, why do you drive in a parkway and park in a driveway?
Exactly.
All I know is that Backman Turner Overdrive had, what's their song? Like Highway. Well, I can't think of it. All I can think of is Heading Out to the Highway by Judas Priest. Anyway, roll on down the highway. They had rolling down the highway, and
Roll on down the highway. Yeah.
and they had a album called Freeways. So
Typically here, there's nothing called a freeway around here. Highway. It's highway here.
He's Canadian.
It's just the terminology. It's but remember, where I'm sitting is farther east than any place in the U.S. and there's damn near, well, probably about 800 miles east of me, and it goes west further than the U.S. goes west, except for Alaska and Hawaii.
Do highways have lights or drop signs?
There's more diversity up here than there, and more space.
What's a drop sign?
I don't know.
I mean, lights like on the side of the road. Yeah, I mean, yeah, ours have them. At least some of them do.
Yeah,
I don't know what a drop sign is. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, guys,
highways are typically single or double lanes each way. Freeways or interstates can have up to 5 lanes. Highway 40 in my big old pickup truck. That is brilliant, Michael. That is brack, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we call all of them highways here.
Now do it like what does he say? Do it like Tom Brokaw. I'm driving down Highway 40 in my big old pickup truck. How about that? Michael, did you think I was going to pull that one out?
All right, here's a little bit for the Americans. Americans in the house. The most eastern point in the United States.
Like a fish. Yeah, that was good.
That's it. That is the most eastern point in the US of A.
Right there.
Wow.
Yeah, that lighthouse.
Huh.
And that's called most eastern point, and it's called West Quoddy Head.
Of course. Just to keep you confused. Like Greenland.
Yeah. It's beautiful, though. It's really beautiful. It's only about an hour, less than an hour from here. That's its claim to fame.
Have you ever seen that city? It's a U.S. city, but it's in Canada. It's weird.
What province?
I'm not even sure what state, Pete. I got no chance of the province. Well, I think it's around Michigan somewhere.
Wisconsin. Are you talking about the one? There's one in Quebec that the town has the border goes right down the middle of the main street of this town.
So, well, this one is. I don't even think you can get to this town from U.S. I don't think you can get to it without going into Canada.
Well, there's one in the States. I think it's in Washington State, actually, where you actually have to go into Canada to get around onto the like it's on a peninsula or sort of on an island, and you actually have to, without using a boat to go over to it, you have to go up into Canada to come back down around into the States to go into the island. That's U.S. Here we have something similar in the fact that picture I just showed you, I'll show you this one right. Well, there's an island off the coast. This is all on the coast. And if that is called Campobello Island, and that's an hour's drive from here through the U.S. You can't get there from Canada. Like that's the Roosevelt Cottage. That's where Franklin Delano and Eleanor Roosevelt spent their summers in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, wow.
It's magnificent because it's on Canadian. It's in Canada, but it's all U.S. and Canadian funded internationally, and
did they build that around a little barn, or did they design it like that?
Oh no, it was built by the families back in I don't know when, the 1900s or something. You know, it was like
Makes you
it's international tourist attraction now.
Yeah, makes you wonder if they had a barn and then just built around it.
Yeah, well, I know. I think it was built that way on purpose, way back. And but that island, to drive to it, they do have ferries that run seasonally, and more so now since COVID came. But you have to go through the United States to get to that island by about an hour's ferry. And there's an area out in the west that's the same way to get to the U.S. You have to drive through Canada.
You know, if Flipper would have built that, it would have been built on that way on purpose.
There you go.
That's really crappy.
But if you type in for historical pictures, you'll find all kinds of pictures from Campobello Island Cottage.
I'm just trying to make it so that everybody wishes we would have stopped at an
On the
hour and a half.
Roosevelt. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So I did have damn it. I had a serious question about that. I was going to ask you. I can't think of it now. I don't know. Damn it. What was that? I don't know. I don't know, man.
Pretty neat.
Pretty keen. All I know is, no. I remember, Pete. I remember.
Yep.
So where is it that you can where are all the entryways to Canada from the US?
There's 200 and some of them.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
Can you name them all, though, Pete?
No.
No.
There's 3 within 7 minutes of here.
Okay.
Right? And then, yeah. No, it's like there's many border crossings.
Yeah.
There's none here in St. Louis.
No. It takes, you have to, it's a big hop. You're a little landlocked there. Yeah.
Yes. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You're a little landlocked.
All right. I think that does it.
I think so.
Well, I gave you the out and gave you a gone about 20 minutes ago. So, you can't blame me for this fiasco.
Oh,
At least you can't blame me on porpoise.
Hey!
Oh, this might be what I'm thinking of here, but what Kurt mentioned. Son of a bitch.
Oops, sorry.
Angel Township is surrounded by Canada and Michigan. Yeah, that maybe I don't.
Also, I saw the one you're talking about in Washington, Pete. Where
Okay,
the border cuts straight across, and there's a little piece of Canada that comes down, and the border kind of goes right through the little tiny part of it.
Yeah,
it's so strange. It's United States, but it's all connected to Canada.
Yeah,
you can't even get to it without taking a boat, or unless you want to drive through.
Like Canada. I said, there's a town in Quebec, and between Quebec and Vermont, I believe it is Vermont or New Hampshire, Vermont, I think. And it's literally the actual border goes up the middle. It goes through one of the buildings, even like there's one part of the building you go into, like a library or something like that. Whereas you have to go out and go down the street and go check in with customs before you go to the other half.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, it's ridiculous. But there's actually in New Brunswick, there's a golf course that the clubhouse is in the U.S., but the golf course is in Canada, which I don't even know how they do it, but they do.
How weird! What an attraction,
crazy.
Right?
So I mean, you got to realize that
nothing like golf clickbait.
Like anything else, so it's like anything else. It means more to somebody who's not familiar with it, right?
Absolutely.
Like when I tell you I'm going to get gas, I'm going to travel internationally to go get gas. And 5 minutes later, 20 minutes later, home.
Yep.
Right?
Here I am, full tank.
Where'd you go? I went abroad. But it's like that's such a ludicrous statement. That's why I hear people say, "Oh my God, you went to Canada? That's Canada. Oh my God!" It's like, well, really, there's no goddamn difference.
just over there.
Yeah.
So
All right, that's all we got, guys.
All right, folks. Pete, what do you got coming up before we go?
I got more videos coming the next couple of days. I got some games or some videos coming more on Lock and Chase, Revenge of Lupin, and X Rally. And I've got one coming out soon for Intellivision Revolution as well. But I might slow down. Might be slowed down. It'll probably be this weekend at least before that comes out. So,
and you're getting close.
I've got more rankings videos coming too. When I get them, I have them recorded. I just got to get them put together. So,
and you're getting close to something, right?
Yeah, I'm getting up. I get close to 2,000. I'm in the sort of the stretch run for 2,000 subs. So I'm looking forward to that. That's great.
Like only yesterday you were hitting 1,000.
Yeah, it was soon, and it's like 2 weeks ago I was at 1,800, and now I'm over 1,900, and it's going really well.
Fantastic!
So,
Congratulations.
yeah,
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
I don't know why I'm doing that. I could be doing this one. And we're getting closer and closer. We're getting closer and closer to our 1,000, right?
8:45 last I checked.
Okay.
8:44 last I checked, so you're up one just from this afternoon from when I looked at it.
Let me check. Yeah, it went up today. Let's see if it's still there. Who knows?
And Mike's right. I've got one comment. I'm going to figure this game out, and I'm going to do a video on it sometime soon too, which is another
Nice.
X-Ray and Diligus. I got it still out here because I got to read through the manual and such, and I'm going to do it old guys and old games on it and play it a little bit.
Very nice.
I might have to. I got to try it, and I might have to get Mike to give me some lessons, and then sometime in the next month or two, probably towards the end of October is my guess. Mike's going to come on to one of my streams on Tuesday night, and he's going to give Jeff and I a crash course in Fubar, and hopefully we'll try this one as well if I need some more lessons on it. So,
wow,
just talk about some of his games. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
There'll be lots of notice for that too, because I got to let Mike know it's not scheduled yet, but looking towards the end of October, because Mike's got to make some arrangements to be there that night. So I appreciate that very much from him as well.
We'll have to have you back on when before you go on the big trip.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
The big Star Trek night coming sometime soon too, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when is that?
Let's try the end of the month, see what happens.
Okay,
I'll see who's available.
Cool.
And then tomorrow I'm doing a live stream.
That's what I was gonna ask you. What do you got coming tomorrow?
Right now, it's supposed to be Peglin.
Okay,
it's a Steam game. It's kind of like a Peggle or a pachinko game, but with an RPG element.
Oh wow!
Where you can upgrade your balls. There you go. And it's a very cool game. I got to do another test stream just to make sure it works. What's that, Pete?
Nobody should ever turn down the opportunity to upgrade their balls.
You always do it. No questions asked. Would you like to? Yes.
I can see your thumbnail now. Testicular improvements.
My dog's out of luck, but I am not.
Poor Tug. Poor Tug. Oh my God. The day you take him in to get fixed, you're doing a video on upgrading your balls.
It's like pouring salt in the wound, isn't it?
That's some cold-hearted bitch right there, man.
Oh my God, the irony.
Woo!
I'm not going to tell him.
Tell him what?
Yeah. What? So yeah, I'm gonna do another test stream here tonight or tomorrow before the show. If all goes well, I'm gonna do it.
Outstanding.
And then you're doing Hammer Away Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday. I got a big unboxing to start, and then just a quick introduction to some of the things that I'll be doing on the channel. So hopefully I'll grow, like we have been and like Pete is. So it's going to be some work, but that's okay. I'll just, I'll get it done.
All right. That's it.
Yeah. And on the Love Boat, they did pachinko as well. They actually had a hall where they had pachinko games. It was like a big arcade.
And Plinko on Price is Right is a very cool game.
Guess what I watched the other day? Now that we're about to sign off, and I've thought of a whole new subject to talk about. I watched Death Race 2000.
Really?
You know what I mean?
With Carradine?
Yeah, I've watched it several times, but I watched it the other day, and I never really clued into it before. I probably knew it, but didn't think of it. But what was her name? Matilda the Hun.
Okay.
Her navigator was Fred Grandy, Gopher from the Love Boat.
Whoa. That's trippy.
Have you watched Death Race 2000?
Well,
Probably.
yeah, years ago.
Well,
That's how I knew Carradine was in it.
Matilda the Hun,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
her navigator, they called him, the co-pilot in there
was Grady.
Fred Grandy, and he
Or Grandy,
what
I
was he
mean.
called? He was called, I can't remember what he was called. Herman the German.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Herman
Now I
the
got to watch
German.
that.
There you go. And that was on probably either Tubi or I think it was Tubi that I
Okay.
watched it. That's another one of
Outstanding.
those light watches. You can turn it on while you're doing stuff and just sort of let it go,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I sitting there working away, and all of a sudden, holy shit, it's Gopher.
I know that voice anywhere. He just did his Indian thing the other night when I was watching an episode. He was wooing some girl. Well, you know who the actress is. She's real pretty. She's one of the twins or one of the sisters.
Judy and Audrey Landers.
Yeah.
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 Didn't have
Which
same
one was
opinion.
like the bubbly
Judy.
Judy. Okay.
I think she did more stuff.
So it was the other one.
Oh, okay.
That was on the Love Boat. They've both been on there, but she was the one that was like slightly seducing Gopher then to
That's disgusting.
to do the,
That's
I know, right? To go out with her mom.
I got off
He was doing the Indian thing, do thing. He was doing that.
On Love Boat. They had a pachinko thing, and all I could think of was Captain Stubing trying to upgrade his balls.
That's it, folks. We'll see you next week.
Hey, all right. Look at the time.
I don't. And Gopher being Herman the German
That's right.
for Matilda the Hun.
Oh. Okay,
Thanks
we'll
for
look
being
forward
here,
to
Pete.
all these cool things coming up on Pete's channel, on Hammer Away, and here on Go Game Go. So it's great hanging with you guys tonight. Thanks for being here. Pete, thank you for being with us tonight.
Right on, guys. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah.
You're
Show up tomorrow
badass,
night to
smart-ass
watch
self.
the live stream of Peglin. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we'll see you guys soon.
Hey,
Bye.
everyone.